A murder dating back to 2010, shocking neighbors throughout the quiet shoreline community of Madison. Now the center of a new HBO docuseries directed by Madison Hamburg, the son of Barbara Hamburg, who police say was brutally murdered a decade ago.
She's my baby sister, and for me, it is haunting every day.
Barbara's sister there speaking out at a vigil that was held 3 years after Barbara was found on the lawn of the home she was renting in Madison back on March 3, 2010. Police say one of her 2 children found Barbara, and the medical examiner's office ended up ruling her death as a result of blunt force trauma and stab wounds. When this first happened, Fox 61 interviewed Madison police, who at the time seemed to think that they had everything they needed to solve the case.
Obviously, we have a great handle on this, and officers are working around the clock on it.
And despite police believing this was an isolated incident, neighbors were rattled, to say the least.
I've got 4 daughters, and they're all pretty scared. We put the alarm on now when we leave the house for anything. I'd like to see some closure quickly to it.
Back in 2010, we reported that Barbara's husband was questioned and later arrested and charged with first-degree larceny. Police say this was in relation to funds he was allegedly stealing from his family. But when it comes to Barbara's murder, he was never charged with anything. The 2 were set to appear in court the week before Barbara was killed, this for their divorce hearing, only Barbara never showed.
I've accepted her loss, but I don't think I'll find peace until I know who would have done such a horrible thing to her.
According to HBO, this series examines Madison's journey to try to solve the case surrounding his mother. The HBO preview says investigators initially speculated this was a crime of passion, but without enough evidence, the case eventually went cold. Over the past several years, Madison was determined to learn more, so he interviewed friends, family, anyone who might have some insight into what happened to his mother. The series documents the twists and turns that took place over the last 10 years and is set to debut on November 15th on HBO. For Fox 61 News, I'm Margot Farrell.